Hey guys, welcome back. Welcome back to MGTOW Money. This, of course, is John Galt. First, I want to welcome all the new subscribers. Greetings, friends. And of course, I appreciate all the positive comments. As many of you know, or in case you don't know, this is the second wave of MGTOW, in my opinion. We are way beyond should we be involved with Western women, hypergamy, getting involved with SJWs, etc. We're beyond that. If you're still thinking about the red pill, blue pill, green pill, I don't care what pill, fine. There's plenty of material about why you should not be involved with women. Needless to say, these series of videos are regarding actionable steps for MGTOWs that they can take away immediately today and implement. We're all about opening choices and options for MGTOW in this series. So with that said, last video I gave some homework, and you may remember I gave a thought experiment of that homework. And specifically, I wanted you to face the issue of moving. I'm talking about moving where you live, moving your shelter, moving to somewhere else, whether that be across a street, down the highway, to another state, maybe even to another country. And the reason I'm emphasizing this is because it's all about choices. And over 50% of your income, I'm sure, or I can say with a high degree of certainty at least, gets tied into housing in some way, shape, or form. However, if you can get your housing, your shelter under control from a financial standpoint, you will increase your options, your choices exponentially. Bottom line is, if you can get a mortgage-free shelter, a mortgage-free home that you're living in, you will increase, factually speaking, your options, your choices exponentially, enormously. So with that said, how do you do this? Is this some sort of, I've got to work till I'm 67 or something to own my own home, own my own shelter? No. Let me give you some ideas. Let me give you some options. These may not fit for you, but they're ideas, they're things for you to consider. First, some of the things we talked about before, a smaller house, a mobile home. What if you lived on a boat full time? Many people do that. What about living in an RV full time? What about a small, cheap condo? Let me give you another idea that I think is quite interesting that I've been researching more and more. Buying a small piece of land in a relatively rural area is inexpensive and putting a container home on there. Google container homes. There's enormous materials regarding container homes, how to do so, etc. It's a phenomenal, I think, idea. It's not an idea that I've done. It's not an idea that I know anyone that's done. But looking at what other people have said about it, I think it's a fantastic option. It's something to consider. Again, the bottom line is you're getting control of your biggest monthly expense, which is housing, which is your shelter. And just by doing that one thing, that one single solitary thing, you will guaranteed increase your options. Because the bottom line is you do have options. You can eliminate or at least significantly reduce your biggest monthly expense. Finally, let me just say, if you've got any excuses, oh, I don't want to move away from my friends and family. Oh, I've got 12 different pets and I need a large house, large shelter, whatever. Cool. Fantastic. You've made that choice though. Don't ever think that, well, I'm stuck. I have to. I must. No. You're choosing to do something. You always, and I can't emphasize that enough, always have choices if you're willing to pay the price. Unless you're being threatened with a weapon to your head, to your body, you always have choices. Now, let's move on to today's topic. Today's topic is regarding the most evil, destructive, four-letter word known to mankind. Look at that photo that I posted. Look at that photo. And I posted this photo for a reason. This little whimpering simp, if you will, in chains. You know what that guy represents to me? That guy represents a person who's in debt, who owes money to someone or some institution. That is somebody who feels like at least he's stuck. He can't go anywhere. He has to be there. And we're going to talk about getting control of that and reclaiming your life. Before I do that, though, let me give you a brief anecdote from my own personal history. Many, many years ago, I was married, I was in debt, and I was unemployed. And oh, lo and behold, my wife turns out and cheats on me and, of course, tells me I need to leave where we were living. Needless to say, I was an emotional, financial, professional wreck. It was a disaster. I was so far down in a pit of doom, I didn't see any way out. I felt like I was stuck. And it was very, very difficult. Obviously, I made it through, though. How did I do so? Let me tell you one of the things that I did. One of the actionable things that you can do if you might be feeling this way, or even if you're not. But if you do have debt, which most of the world has, this is a way that you can get that debt under control. So here's your homework. Here's what you're going to do. Get out a sheet of paper. Get out some sort of device that you want to note things down on. I want you to write down every single debt that you have. If you owe 27 different debts to 27 different institutions and people, write it down. From the smallest to the largest is irrelevant. If you owe €1 or $1,000 or $1,000,000, write it down. Write down every single debt that you have, whether it be to a person or to an institution. Write them all down. Get them all in one place on one sheet of paper. Step 2 of this. I want you to immediately, or as quickly as possible, pay the smallest debts on that list. In other words, clear, remove, eliminate the smallest debts as soon as possible. Yes, I know this runs contrary to some financial people will say, well, you need to pay off the ones that have the highest interest rates and that type of thing. I disagree. I say no. That is not the way to do this. You want to build momentum, you want to build confidence, and you want to get focus. You want to get that list of debts that might be 10, 12, 27, whatever the number is. You want to get it down to a very reasonable number that you can focus on, because that's going to be the key. So again, you're going to go after the low-hanging fruit first. You're going to go after those lowest debts, the ones that are just pesky little gnats that are surrounding you. And you're going to pay off those debts immediately. You're going to clear them from your list. You're going to have your confidence increase, and you're going to feel momentum building because you're going to start focusing on the bigger ones. And ultimately, you're going to chip away at those and get those finished as well. That's step 1. Here's step 2. And for a lot of you, this is going to be very difficult, so prepare yourself. Step 2 is, if you have credit cards, if you have any credit cards, you've got to cut them up. Sorry, I know. It's going to be like taking a heroin needle from an addict. But you've got to put down the crack pipe, guys. You've got to do it. This is only temporary, I promise. This is only temporary until you get all your debts cleared. But you've got to do it. You got to cut up the credit cards. Yes, you can get the credit cards back. The credit card companies will be more than happy to give you a replacement card. I promise you. You can just say, I lost a card, it got destroyed, whatever. They're more than happy to send you one. They'll even overnight you one if you request it. But the point is, you've got to get rid of your credit cards. You need to physically eliminate the credit cards, because that's the only way. I shouldn't say only, but for most people, it's going to be the only way, is literally eliminating the crack from the crack addict. You've got to do it. This is the most effective way. You've got to go cold turkey on this. So, in sum, here's what you're going to do. Here's your homework. Again, you're going to list all your debts. You're going to take the smallest debts that you have on your list. You're going to pay those off immediately. That'll allow you to start focusing on your larger ones so that you can start chipping away at those larger ones and getting those cleared off. And simultaneously, number 2, you're going to get rid of the crack. You're going to eliminate the kryptonite that's around you. Just like you've decided, I'm getting away from women, you're going to get away from credit cards. Credit cards are wonderful. They really are. They're absolutely fantastic. And we're going to talk about this in a future broadcast where you can use credit cards to your advantage and you can make money and take advantage of the credit card companies. But you do so after you get out of debt. With that said, guys, thank you. I appreciate you listening. Please subscribe, like this video, comment, and I'll see you next time.